Welcome back, everybody. So today we're going to try another one from Transient Artisan Ales. Unspeakable Joy Double Dry Hopped India Pale Ale, 6.5% ABV. No date on this one. I did pick it up at Huffman Street Grocery. $4.39 for this one. So let's go ahead and get it open, get it into a glass. Cool can art on here. Most of them have been like that. They just a sticker that goes about halfway, and this one doesn't say like the image something like the other one did. So let's go ahead and get it in here, see what we think. This is a New England IPA from Untapped. Again, if you're new, what I've been doing is dumping most of it in here. It is in New England. You could get stuff that settles. So we'll smell, taste, and then I'll dump the rest in there and we'll see if anything changes. I feel that might be the best way, at least from my experience, as sometimes after I'm done with the review and drank some, after I turn the camera off, I pour the rest in there and I'm like, this has a little bit more smell and taste than it did when I reviewed it. So we'll do both of them like we have been and just see if anything changes. We could probably fit some more in here. What head we do have is off-white, small and medium bubbles in there. Not even a half a finger, less than a quarter finger of head. Color, I would say orangish yellow, almost like a medium pulp orange juice, very hazy, can't see through it. I was almost going to say it kind of reminds me more of a citrus New England IPA on that side, but I think that when that comes to mind, I do think about like the Bell's Side Yard, but that is more yellow, where this is almost in between, but it doesn't look like a Trillium or a Treehouse New England IPA. It's a little oranger in color than that, if that even matters to you. Let's go ahead and smell. A good amount of tropical fruit. Mango, pineapple is what I get the most of. A little bit of sweetness in there. Yeah, like fresh mango, pineapple is what I'm getting the most of. A little bit more sweetness than I'm used to, but it is kind of balanced. There could be a touch of citrus, which if they're using hops, you're going to get some kind of citrus in there. But yeah, that tropical fruit, mainly pineapple, mango, is what stick out the most in this one. Let's go ahead and taste. Yeah, definitely very big, juicy, tropical. If anything in the taste, I do get more pineapple, like very ripe pineapple. There is a good amount of bitterness, at least to me, perceived bitterness in the back. And my guess is that's just from the sweet tropical fruit up front. So it's making it seem, once those hops kick in, like the bitterness is higher than it really is. Yeah, if anything, very tropical, juicy fruit up front. I get more of the pineapple in there than anything. As it starts going back, middle of the palate to the end of the palate, that bitterness is ramping up, but I do believe it's just from that sweetness up front, so the perceived bitterness is more. Aftertaste, that bitterness does linger a lot in this beer, and it's kind of a generic tropical fruit, maybe citrus mixed together. You really can't pick anything out. Excuse me, for the citrus side, it's almost like a citrus rind bitterness, as it is lingering a while. Yeah, pretty good. Let's go ahead and see if we can get the rest in here, see if it changes anything. One thing that stands out in this beer to me is the body. We are at 6.5%. The body still seems a little light for the flavors and what I think it should be. I think maybe a medium, pushing medium. This is definitely to the lighter side, a little bit heavier than light, but still good. I would think that this was probably a 5% beer just from the body. The flavors are a little muted, like watered down. I wish they popped a little bit more. I think you would get that from a thicker body, but that's just what I'm thinking. Nicer head, but we did swirl it around and pour it in there. Same smells. Body does seem a little better, a little thicker, more on the medium side than anything now. I would say, if anything, pouring the rest of that in there, more bitterness is coming out. We'll check on Untapped. But yeah, just mixing that bottom in there, swirling it around is probably giving it a little better feel for the body. 6.5, yeah, before, yeah, I would go with almost a 5. It was more watered down, almost like a session New England IPA. Yeah. Yeah, you get that sweet tropical fruit up front, more pineapple than anything. You get some good bitterness in there, maybe a little too much for my liking in a New England. And that bitterness just lingers, like I said, almost like an orange rind or a citrus rind bitterness in there. Let's look at Untapped, see if they say really anything about it. No. Flavors of passion fruit and mango. Passion fruit, no, because usually if you've been a follower of the channel, passion fruit, dirty foot is usually what I say the first thing. I do not get that in here. The mango in the smell, not as much in the taste. On this one, I would probably have to go with a 4.25 out of 5. Definitely a solid beer. I would like to see those flavors come out more in the taste and the body a little fuller, and the bitterness step down a little bit. If you're into New England IPAs, a little bitter, I would rather have them a little bitter than a little more sweetness to them, which you'll see in some of the home brews I made here soon. I did add a little bit more bitterness than you would typically see in a New England IPA. But yeah, a solid 4.25 out of 5. If you like this review, check some more out over here. And until next time, happy brewing.